What's up, friends? How are you today? This is Top 3 at 3. My name is Ruel Gaviola, and I'm happy to be here with another episode of this show that we do once a week here on my Twitch channel, sometimes twice a week. If you were here earlier, then you know that on Wednesday I interviewed Anna Maria of Girls Game Shelf. And today I have another great guest, my friend Theo of Geeky Gaymer guy. I'll bring him in on in just a minute. I just wanted to check in on everyone, see everyone in chat. I see Mrs. Gav 2020 is first today, and she put first. That is my lovely wife, Michelle. We also do a show at 7:30 Pacific here on Twitch called Tabletop Tonight, where Michelle and I, and sometimes our daughter Lauren, we play a board game, and we do that daily here. So please come back at 7:30. We have another great game. I don't know exactly what it is. I have a feeling, but I'll post it later on social media so y'all can join us then. I see Slackfish, Games of Fire. Thank you for joining us. Amanda Panda, our moderator. I don't think she's here yet, but hopefully she'll be here in a few minutes here. Slackfish, thanks for the emotes. Folks, we have emotes now from our friend Holly Chu. She's a great illustrator, a great friend of ours, and she made these amazing emotes of Lauren, Michelle, and myself, and also Bruno if you are a tier 2 subscriber. And I think you can unlock those through, I don't know if they're called channel points, but I think we call them Bruno points now. So Bruno, our pug, is basically the star of the show. So please check out and subscribe, hit the follow button, do all the things here on Twitch. I'm still learning how to use Twitch. We've been here for about a month. We're very fortunate to have such a great audience. So thank you for all of your support. I also have a Patreon now under Ruel Gaviola. Thank you all the Patreons and patron supporters for that. Sore Winner is here. Thank you for joining us, my friend. And yes, we are doing Top 3 at 3. Theo and I are going to talk about our top 3 card drafting games today. So please stick around because we're first going to talk about his journey into modern gaming. Then we're going to get into our top 3 list. And I had a sneak peek at Theo's top 3 games. They're awesome and they're excellent. Just looking at his list, I want to play them all. And I've got a few too, and we'll see how they come out. Yeah, so winner, we have emotes. Please check them out. They're so cute and they're funny. Yeah, there they are. Yeah, right on, Sore Winner. Nick's fun. Thanks for joining us. Let me get into the show here, folks. And Games of Fire says still learning. Yes, I'm learning with you, my friend. Let's learn together. Let's get into this thing. Theo's hanging out backstage, and we're going to bring on in just a second. But before we do that, let me talk about Theo. Geeky Gamer Guy is all about all things tabletop games, whether that be board, card, or even the occasional role-playing game. He believes that there's a game out there for everyone, from solo to party. His goal is to share his passion for games with all of you. He is by no means your conventional person, though. He's kooky and implores all of you to do the same. His channel lineup includes bite-sized how-to-play of popular board and card games, giving you the full rules in as little time as possible without much fluff. Reviews and playthroughs are other videos that you can find on his channel. Folks, without further ado, I am super happy to have my friend. I'm very honored to call him my friend. My friend and the Geeky Gamer Guy, Theo. Let me bring him on here. Theo, are you here? There is he. Theo, hi.
Here. Oh, thank you so much for having me. This is great. You're just don't worry. I'm just crying behind stage, y'all. Don't worry about it. He's saying such sweet things about me. Don't worry about it. Yeah.
You know, I
But
just
thank you so
speak
much.
the truth, my friend. Yes, you're welcome. Thank
No.
you.
So
Yes,
nice.
so Theo, we were talking a little bit about some of our card drafting games that we talked about, but I want to save that for just a few more minutes. I want to talk about
Yeah.
let's talk about your journey into gaming. Like how, like as a kid, were you playing board
Sure.
games, like all the classics back then and everything?
Yeah, I was one of those people that I loved playing games, and my parents were very good with trying to have family time, and board games was like kind of what we did for family time. So the biggest game that I played, I requested a lot of, was Clue. I
Oh,
love Clue a lot. I
nice.
loved a lot of Clue. Literally, my parents were just like tired of me always choosing Clue, but Clue was the one that I liked playing. I enjoyed the deduction of it, and that's really my biggest board game that I like the most of.
Mhm.
outside of that, I think we played Monopoly and all that. But I have a love-hate relationship when it comes to Monopoly, so
Yeah.
it's kind of like Clue is like my jam. Like I
Right.
like that a lot
Nice.
more.
Did
Yeah.
you see the Clue movies back in the day? Do you remember those movies?
Yeah, oh yeah,
Okay.
definitely. That was the best. And I mean, obviously I saw them after they were out of theaters, so I got to see all the like bonus scenes of like all
Oh,
the how everything worked out and everything like that, where you got to see the clue, because clue, there's different opportunities for the person to be the murderer. So it was just
right.
I love that. I love that. I love the movie and the
Yeah.
comedy. So
Right.
good.
And I remember those
Yeah.
original movies. It was like when they were released in theaters, and I forgot how they did this on like the VHS and DVDs, but they had different
Mhm.
endings, right? It was like different.
Right, right. Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, the bonus scenes is what I was saying. Yeah, like
Oh,
they
okay.
they did all different endings, and I just thought that was so cool. And
Yeah,
I hope that they come out with this remake that's been rumored for
that's
forever
right.
of it.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes.
Absolutely. In fact, I wish more movies did the whole different ending things because I I
Yeah.
would have loved a different ending for the whole Star Wars trilogy.
Girl, that's the truth.
Right?
I'm not
Thank
even
you.
gonna lie with that one. I'm
Yeah.
saying I'd be 100% here for some alternate endings on that. I'm just
Yes.
saying,
Thank you. Thank you. And
yeah.
as much as I was a Star Wars fan, just the last one I wasn't too big of a fan of. But um, just some
No.
quick comments here. Joel, one of my regular, friends actually, he enjoys listening to how everyone got into the hobby. This is great. Thank you for sharing,
Yeah.
Theo. And Clue is one of Swordwinder's favorites. And this is another comment from
Yeah.
Richie NYC. Thank you for joining us. I wonder why it's Cluedo over here. So Cluedo,
Yeah,
Cluedo.
Cluedo is what is
Is
what
it
they
in?
call it.
Is
Like
it over
that's the
out?
same with Ella. Yeah,
Right.
Cluedo. We're the only ones who have it. It's Clue and Spotted. Spotted is called something else.
Oh,
I
that's
forgot what it's
right.
called.
Yeah, yeah.
Double. It's called
Double.
Double
Right.
everywhere else other than here.
Right.
Spotted is that.
I wonder why
Yeah.
it's yeah. So which is in UK. So yeah, that's a UK.
UK,
Basically,
right.
you're
It's a
like you said,
UK.
it's a US thing, I guess. The Clue thing. So
Yeah, it's
right.
but yeah, Cluedo. Why I want Cluedo. Why don't we
Right.
have Clue?
It
I want
sounds way
Cluedo.
it sounds way
Yeah,
cooler than Clue.
exactly. I mean, it's got some more going on with it than just Clue,
Right.
So,
um.
yeah.
So you as a kid, you have your family nights playing Clue, and then and
Yeah.
we all have our love hate relationship with Monopoly, of course.
Right.
After that, how did what other games did you play? Did you jump into modern board games after you
I
had grown up, or
yeah, I have a funny story for that. So when I first started playing board games, I didn't even know I was playing a board game.
really?
Yeah, so I have MS, so I was not feeling very well, and for a long time I was very sick.
Hmm.
So I spent a lot of time on the couch and all that sort of stuff. But on the Xbox 360, I played Carcassonne, but I was
Oh,
playing Carcassonne on the Xbox 360. And I was just like, this game's amazing. Oh, this game is so much fun. Building all the kingdoms and all that sort of stuff. And like, I would tell all my friends, I would be like, oh, we're going to play this on Xbox Live. We're going to play all that sort of stuff. And sure enough, that was my modern board game that I didn't even know that I was playing.
wow, that's fascinating. So your actual first modern board games experience was a
Was
video game version of it.
right was
Oh,
that one. Yeah,
how
like
cool is that?
right, it's random but also just cool. And yeah, my really big thing that got me into modern board games was Pandemic.
Okay,
um
yeah.
that's kind of like what me got me in, because um I had always played games. Everybody who knows me, I'm a Care Bear. I'm all about like I love my friends and I want to show my friends that I love them. I don't want to demolish them. That's kind of like not my thing.
Right.
So Pandemic was the thing that got me into it, because we all win together, and I had never played a cooperative game where you win together. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's what got me.
That's that's it's funny because that's the same game that got me into it. The hobby 5 years ago was I'd
Yeah.
never played a cooperative game before, so it was new. Did you also was that a board. It wasn't a video game version of Pandemic, like the app or anything. It was the
No,
actual
no,
game.
yeah, it was the actual thing. Yeah, luckily when I moved out here to San Francisco, to the Bay Area, I had connected with friends that actually do play board games. So he was the one that kind of ushered the addiction for me to
Nice.
be crazy for board games. But yeah, that's
Nice.
Pandemic was the one that I always requested to play just because I love winning with people. I thought that
Right.
was lots of fun.
I
Yeah.
agree.
So
I enjoy cooperative games because of, like you said, it's you win together. You know, you're defeating this
yeah.
common foe, as it may. During those game nights,
Right.
Theo, were you also being like, were you playing other games like Euro games or all the different games out
Um,
there, or
I
what?
played a good amount of because luckily I had somebody who gave me a smorgasbord of different things. So like obviously it was Ticket to Ride, and then we would go a little bit heavier. We played area control games like
Mm,
Blood Rage, and we played all sorts of other it got heavier and heavier because obviously my biggest thing, which I know a lot of people maybe don't like it in the hobby, but I love learning. I love learning. Like I love reading rule books. Like that's like I live for that stuff. Like I'm not even kidding. Like I live for it. It's lots of fun.
right.
So basically my appetite has always been insatiable when it comes to that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So it's just like more. Let's play more, which, there's obviously lots more, so I
Right.
don't have to worry about that.
So then, are you like the designated like rules explainer
Oh,
when because of
yeah,
games?
100%. Yeah,
Nice.
100%. That's like the role that I'm completely fine with having. Like I have no,
Yes.
I don't wanna offload it on some people. Some people, like some of my friends, they just can't handle. Just tell me what to do. I'm more like
Right.
that. I want to find out what I want to do.
Right.
So that's
Um,
yeah, I'm totally cool with it.
cool, cool. I just want to welcome our friend Panda Angel. That's Amanda Panda. She is our moderator. So, folks, please keep it PG-13 in the chat.
Yay.
Amanda will take care of us. Thank you, Amanda, for always doing the hard work of moderating chat. We are here with Theo from Geeky
Yay.
Gamer Guy. He does an amazing YouTube channel. And he's on all the socials of Instagram, Twitter, and so forth. Theo, it's interesting that you mentioned how you love reading rule books because I remember I came across your videos first on YouTube, and I loved your videos. That you were able to explain games so
No.
succinctly, clearly, and how did you go from being you get into cooperative games, you start learning these games, you start teaching them. How do you go from that to actually creating content and making videos?
Oh, so that's a fun story too. Okay,
Nice.
so so obviously my appetite for board games was huge. I wanted to know everything. I would listen to, Dice Tower. I'd watch all that sort of stuff. And the thing that I started noticing is like I think that as humans, we are like with like, we love like with like. So I'm just like, where's there a gay person that plays board games that's out talking about it? And obviously there wasn't.
Mhm.
And like my partner was telling me, he was like, why can't you be that person? And I was just kind of like, why can't I be that person? I'm
Yes.
gonna be
Right.
that person, So it's just one of those ones where it's like I want to connect with more diverse voices, show that the hobby is this tapestry of people, that it's more than, just what we see on the surface. And
Mhm.
I wanted to add my voice to it, or
A-
perspective.
yes. Amen, my friend. Amen. Yes. Let's connect
Thank
with
you.
diverse voices. Yes. Um,
Yes.
it's again, it's so wonderful talking to you, Theo, about your journey
Oh.
into gaming and also content creation. As far as I haven't asked this of any of my other guests, but I'm going to ask you. And I'm totally putting it in the spot. Sorry
Oh,
if
I
I
feel
am.
special.
Okay.
That's fine.
um, if there's any like tips or advice to anyone out there that wants to get into content creation, is there anything you could say or just offer as far as hints or tips?
I kind of feel like, especially in today's times, being in social media and being active with the communities and learning, learning to find your tribe, I think is the best way for me to learn, for you to learn.
Mhm.
Not because you need to be like with like, but also because those people will help prop you up and help usher you. Because I obviously there was so many stumbles and pitfalls. You know, I wish that like I knew video creation. I've come from graphic design. I came from static images. You know, I didn't know motion or anything like that. And y'all, I still have my One Night Ultimate Werewolf peep play. Oh no, not peep play. Tutorial from a long, long time ago up on my YouTube. And
Uh-huh.
well, I looked scared. I was very
Really?
scared of the camera. Yeah, just super, super scared. And it's just, yeah, you just need to try to connect with a lot of people.
Mhm.
And luckily, this community, there's a lot of people who just want to help, you know?
Exactly. Yeah, that's one thing I definitely see is like, as you know, we both taken our journeys into content creation. There's a lot of people who support you. You know, like
Yeah.
way more than people who are going to try to tear you down. You know, I mean, let's be real. There are going to be people that try to tear
Oh,
you
there's going to
down.
be the trolls.
Yeah, there are
Yeah, yeah,
definitely
they'll be
trolls,
there.
but
Yeah.
there are way more people who are supportive. Sore Winner, she says, I'm glad you added your voice,
So
Theo. We need
sweet.
more of those voices. Thank you so much.
No, thank you.
And totally agree. Slackfish is one of our regulars here. Theo, thanks for choosing to put yourself out there. It must have been scary at times.
Super
And
scary, super, super scary. But you know, I wanted to be the example. I wanted y'all to show that you can do it. You can do it, and it's if you want it, you can do it. So go
definitely.
for it.
But you know, it does take time, right? I mean, you got to
Oh
do the
yeah,
work.
yeah.
Like we
You're
can't all
not
just
going
be
to
as awesome
be
as you are right off the
great.
bat, you know.
Oh yeah. No, seriously, Ruel, for like the first year, every single time I turned on that camera, I was like timid. I was super timid, and it was just a camera, but it was like super scary, super duper
How do you get
scary.
over that fear then? Is it just a matter of repeating
Practice,
it, practice, doing the work?
lots and
Hmm.
lots of practice, and like that's how I am with art. That's what you do with anything. Anything's just like a sharpening your knife. You have to practice,
Exactly.
um, and you also have to kind of not judge yourself. I think is the best way of putting it. Like
Hmm.
you're on a journey. You're on a path. You're not going to be a A-list celebrity the first time you turn on your camera. It's just not going to be the case because it's a new field.
Hmm.
But the journey of doing that is rewarding for yourself in more ways than one. Obviously, like I wouldn't be talking this I wouldn't be talking this much like offhandedly, even though I know like I'm sure like 4 years ago Theo would have saw the screen of people and been like, oh my god, people are watching me right now. You know, like but
Right.
that's
Here
it's
we
like
are,
good.
you know. Yeah, here we
Right,
are. Yes.
exactly.
All right. Theo, again, I want to thank you for sharing your journey. I really appreciate it.
No.
And it truly is an honor to talk to you today about board games and
No.
where you know, how you got into content creation. I want to thank you for your time, but we're not done yet. We are going to be talking about some games.
The good stuff.
Let me throw in some comments here real quick. So Nick's Plan says, "Thank you for being here, Theo." Panda
No.
Angel, our moderator, Theo, you are an awesome role model. We need more of you everywhere. I totally agree.
Oh, that's
Mrs.
so
Gav
sweet.
2020, Theo, such a rock star. I totally agree.
So
That's my
sweet.
wife, by the way. That's Michelle. She's in chat.
No, I can't wait to see you, Michelle. Oh my god.
And yeah, so folks, we are going to move on now. Theo and I were talking beforehand, and we want to share this category. We're super excited about this. We're going to be talking about our top 3 card drafting games. And these,
Yes.
yes, we're so excited to do this. I'm just going to jump in right in, Theo. I'm going to start with my honorable mentions. And folks,
Sure.
if everyone in chat, if you have a favorite card drafting game, please drop them in the comments below.
Drop
And
them. Yeah, I want
yeah,
to see.
drop them like they're hot, right? Did I just
Yes.
say that? Oh my gosh.
Drop it. That's fine. We're rolling with it. Drop
Right?
it like it's hot. I'm here
Thank
for
you,
that.
Theo. So my honorable mentions before we get to our top 3, I have 2 of them: Sushi Go and It's a Wonderful World. So Sushi
Ooh,
Go.
so
Oh,
good.
here it is. Yeah, live TV, folks. Sushi Go. This is the party edition. This is to me was I think. Actually, I know it was my very first card drafting game I ever played when I got into the hobby. It's super cute art. It's got the little sushis and it's card drafting. So you're basically, you have a hand of cards, folks. You take one, keep one, and then pass the rest to your opponents. And you do that multiple times until you have a hand of cards and you're playing them. And in Sushi Go, you're doing set collection. So if I have a set of like tempura, then I get certain one points. I have a certain set of like sashimi or whatever. It's just point scoring. It's set collection. You do it 3 rounds. Most points wins. It's a quintessential card drafting game. Any thoughts on Sushi Go, Theo, before I move on?
So good. Such a great accessible game. It works really well for so many different player counts. I
Yep.
mean, basically, if you like sushi, you're going to like this game because you're just
Yeah.
going to be hungry and you're going to want to have sushi after.
Totally.
Like,
Are
it's
you a
just what
sushi fan?
happens.
Do you like sushi?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. I
Nice.
love sushi. So it's
Same.
just one of those ones that's how I kind of lead into the teach is just like, do you like sushi? You're going to like this game. Okay.
Nice. That's the perfect way to teach it. Yes.
Yeah.
I have one more honorable mention. This one is a newer game. I think it came out last year. It's called It's a Wonderful World. And
Ooh.
I'm actually not going to say anything about this because, spoiler alert, it might be later showing up later in the list. Okay.
I don't know where that's coming from. I have no idea.
Nice. So we're going to move on, folks. Let's talk to Theo about his honorable mentions before we get to our top 3. Theo, you have 2 games honorable mentions.
Well, I just wanted to have just a second, like card drafting. Like y'all always think about card drafting games by picking and pulling, but card drafting is the mechanic is literally if you have a set of cards and you're drafting to stop somebody from being able to get the card. That is really the basic mechanics of card drafting, and I literally just learned this. This like made my world. Like I was like, oh, there's so many card drafting games out there like that I didn't even think about it, you know.
That's
so
right.
for for my mentions, what I wanted to mention were obviously the one of the ones that I played a lot of when I first got into the hobby was Ticket to Ride.
Yes.
And it's just one of those easy accessible games. I can play it and like can bang it out in like 20 to 40 minutes at the most, and it's just easy and accessible. And also I play a lot of solo games now, especially, and Onirim is just this amazing game. I mean, minus the shuffling because there's a lot of shuffling, but it's so good.
Yes,
It's just really, really good.
And there is an app now. I know I have the app. Do you play the app now, or do you still play?
Yeah.
Okay,
no.
cool.
No, the app is pretty much where I go to now, just because. Yeah, the shuffling's a lot. Like there's just like a lot of shuffling, and the app is like easy to bang out at like a 5-minute game. So
nice. I have the app. I played it once, and I don't know. I just didn't click with me, and I haven't gone back to it. But I need to because I think it's been mentioned on this show like 3 or 4 times, and I don't know why it's not clicking with me.
It's one of those. It's because the design is so different.
Yeah.
That it's like your brain. It's the same thing with me. My brain was like, I don't understand matching these symbols, and now I'm passing this, and now this comes out. But once you get the flow of it, it's like one of those like you crave it. You keep going for it, and yeah, I highly recommend it. It's super, super good.
Awesome. Yeah. Another thing, I want to just come back to Ticket to Ride. I never would have, before you had put on your list, I don't know why I never thought of it as a card drafting game.
My mind. Yeah,
right?
I know, right?
And
like,
this is
I was just like card drafting, Ticket to Ride. What?
Yeah, but it totally makes sense. It's totally true. I mean, yeah, you are laying down. You're trying to connect your, the routes and stuff. But yeah, at its heart, it really is a card drafting game. You're drafting those cards.
Right.
Yeah,
you're drafting those cards. You need them. You need the cards to be able to do anything.
Absolutely. So, and that's besides Pandemic, Ticket to Ride's the other one that really got me in the hobby, because that one, like when I first got into the hobby 5 years ago. Pandemic was the one, but Michelle really wasn't into Pandemic. But then I got Ticket to Ride, and we just played it like every night for like a week straight.
It was one of those games that like I've played it all the way up to 5 players. Still lots of fun. It's still, and all the maps. Like I've become a collector of certain games, and there's one other game that's on the list that I'm a huge collector of. But Ticket to Ride, I like. Love the maps. Give me lots and lots of maps. And yeah, let's just play and everything. Let's go.
Awesome. Do you have a favorite map Ticket to Ride or favorites?
I really love the London expansion or UK. The UK expansion is really cool. I really like what they did with it. I have not played the Japan expansion, and I'm like 100% wanting that. But I would say that the United Kingdom one is really, really good and adds to the game without overcomplicating it.
Right. So. And I do like how the UK, not only is that game good, but on the flip side, the Pennsylvania map
with the stocks.
The stocks. I love that one. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so cool.
So good. All right. So those are our honorable mentions, folks. Let's move on to our list. I'm going to begin with my number 3, which is A Bargain Quest. This one's from Renegade Game
Ooh.
Studios, and I like this game because it is card drafting, but it's got a clever theme. So it's your standard fantasy theme. You have your adventurers, going out to fight the monsters and get the loot. But what you are in this game are the actual shopkeepers selling goods to the adventurers so they can go out and do these great things on their adventures.
Love.
So you're selling them the clothes, you're selling them the weapons, you're selling them the spells and everything else. And it's just such a cool theme. And Michelle and I just really enjoy this one. It's pretty smooth. It's pretty easy to learn. And it's card drafting, and it's a fun little game. Have you played Bargain Quest, Theo?
No, and it's so sad. When I saw that on the list, I was like, "Oh, I want to hear everything you have to say about it because I want to play it." Like I know Jonathan Yang, like I met him at many events, and I'm just like really sad to not know the grandeur of Bargain Quest because I know there's so much that's in it. And
it's so cool because you have it's standard card drafting, but then you have to, you're trying to build up your little group of adventurers so they can go fight these monsters. So you have these things like, okay, do I want to give them a potion, which will help them one way, or do I want to give them, a shield or a sword that helps them in a different way? And then in your shop, you can hire employees to help you. They give you special abilities and so forth.
That.
It's so cool, Theo. I highly recommend it if you're in the card drafting.
All right. You sold me well. I'm here for it. Let's go.
Yes. What about your number 3, Theo? What do you have for us?
For number 3, it's finally come back. It's a Wonderful World for me. And I really love this game. It is the standard card drafting. You're picking and pulling and place. You're basically trying to build up a civilization, and you start with a civilization that you have that has this starting ability. Usually, they recommend obviously to play the standard one that everybody's the same because it's just like Seven Wonders. It just gets a lot for a lot of people, especially if they're new. They're just not going to get it. But you're going to play these cards down to be able to gain resources that hopefully you can use to build up your civilization to, at the bottom of all of them, have end game scoring points that are going to give you stuff. And it's just got this really cool engine where you're drafting, and then you have this cool civilization that you can just get lots and lots of points for, hopefully.
Right.
I also am, like I said, I was the Care Bear. I don't win a lot of games because I like everybody to just have fun. But I have a really good win ratio with this Ruel. So I'm just gonna be really happy with that. Yeah.
you can care about all other games, but that's your
right. But that's my jam right there.
Nice. Yeah, I love this game from the get-go. Now people were saying it was a Seven Wonders killer. I don't totally agree with that.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just me being sentimental about Seven Wonders, but has it replaced Seven Wonders for you, or?
So for me, obviously, I play a lot of 2-player games, and the 2-player version of It's a Wonderful World is great. And there's the variant from Seven Wonders that you have that 3rd player that just really doesn't work. Agreed. But outside of that, no, you can't replace Seven Wonders. Seven Wonders is its own kind of thing, and I'm not one of those people that do killers. I don't do like that. Oh, this kill. I'm not like that. Like,
agreed. I'm the same way. Yes.
Choose what you like. What do you like to play? Okay, then we'll play that.
Exactly. I agree. 100%.
I'm not gonna be kicking Seven Wonders off the door.
Right?
It's sitting in my shelf that I have on my channel every single day.
There's a game for everyone, right?
Exactly.
As we like to
say.
And I do love Seven Wonders Duel. That game is fantastic.
Good.
That one is fantastic.
So good. And that was gonna go on my list, but these three beat it.
Nice. Awesome.
Yeah, so good. And with Pantheon, with the expansion, it's just, it makes this robust game that's just so good. Yeah.
That's like the perfect word for robust. It really just brings that game to a new level.
Rounds it out.
Totally. Friend Slackfish says Duel would absolutely make my top 3. Nice. Games of Fire says Bargain Quest has a neat theme. Agreed. Let's move on, folks, to our number 2 games. Again, I'll jump in here. My number 2 is Imperial Settlers. This is a game from, I think, Portal Games. You have 4 different races or whatever, and this is another card drafting game. You're trying to build a tableau of your civilization, And it's really, it surprised me the first time I played it. There's a lot of take that in this game, which I didn't expect at first. But once you get used to it, I mean, I guess, can you play a version of where you don't attack each other? I don't know if that's in the rules or not.
No, but there's a good way. There's a good way to circumvent it.
Okay.
Yeah.
But anyways, I like it because it like It's a Wonderful World. You do get that engine building feeling to it, and I especially like this one as solo. I love the solo game.
So good,
right.
So good. Yeah.
You have any other thoughts on this one, Theo? Well, obviously, you've played it.
Yeah, I played it. So the mechanics are very similar to 51st State, and 51st State is the game that I played before we played Imperial Settlers. And I just love that they took this like grungy apocalyptic game and make it into this cutesy, beautiful civilization game.
Yes.
And I'm just like, thank you, Portal. That's what I want. I want cutesy. Give me some cutesy. That's what I'm here for. So yeah, it's just a really great game, and I love the mechanics. And yeah, the tableau. I just love that. I just love me a tableau. So,
right? Yeah, I can tableau build all day. It's
all
fun.
day, all day. Yes.
Yeah. Let's move on to your number 2, Theo. What is your number 2 card drafting?
My number 2 is my go-to that I play like all the time. You could pack it away. I bring it with me to friends, and that's Point Salad.
Yes.
I love Point Salad because you have this just little simple deck of cards, but like you're basically trying to lay out vegetables to be able to score the points on the back, because each card is double-sided. So one side has a vegetable and the other side has a scoring condition. And literally, y'all, every card is different. So there's just so much variety because you have every scoring condition that you can think of. So sometimes you'll score a certain number of points for this vegetable. So you want to try and get those vegetables to be able to score them. And then since it's all open information, you know that, hey, Becky's going to be going for peppers, so I need to make sure that I'm stopping her from getting those peppers, because if not, Becky's going to get a lot of points, and we don't want to stop. We don't want that.
That's right. And for those of you not familiar with the term, I'm sure you've heard it before if you're a gamer, hate drafting is a real thing, especially in this game.
Here. That's a thing here, y'all. And like I said, I'm a Care Bear, but when it comes to that, I see that you're going to get a lot of points. I gotta grab these vegetables before you pick them.
When we put together our list, when I saw yours, I was like, oh, I forgot about Point Salad. I wish
good.
Yeah, it's excellent. It's fantastic. Michelle and I, we love it, and I feel like it scales well. We play it 2-player,
super well.
Yeah, up to 6, and I think it's at 6 players though. It's a different experience.
Chaotic.
It is chaotic. Thank you. That's the word. Yeah, it's chaotic. But it's so fast. It's fun anyway. It's 15 minutes, so you know, at most.
Yeah,
so.
I think my only thing with Point Salad at 6 is that I always am like, do I have a table that's big enough to support all of this? Because you know everybody has to have their own tableau.
Right.
And it's like, I don't know if I have the room for it. But yeah, it's chaotic, and just like there's really no planning. It's pretty much just like luck of the draw, which vegetables you're going to get and which scoring you're going to get from
it.
But it's still, it's a different game, and it's super fun. And I love that you basically can like set up the decks, and then you can just keep reshuffling the setup for if you're playing just 2 players over and over and over, and it'll feel like a different game because the scoring conditions will be different. You know?
Exactly. Yes, and that's so true. And Slackfish, they say, it's so quick that you always play multiple games. And
you have to,
you have to, right? It's so fast, and it's so fun, and it plays well with new gamers and also people who just want a filler between like heavier stuff.
For sure.
Yeah, so good. All right, Theo, these are great games so far. I'm like, I want to play all of them right now.
I need to play them all right now.
Right?
Exactly.
So let's move to our number ones. These folks, thank you again for joining us. I'm joined by Theo of Geeky Gaymer Guy. We are doing our top card drafting games, and this is my number 1. And it took me a while to figure this one out, and I wasn't sure if I should put it under one category or the other, but my number 1 is Blood Rage. I just love this game. And this is from the latest Kickstarter,
that nice box.
Yeah. I always thought of this game as an area control game, right? Ameritrashy, it's got, the minis and everything. But the more I thought about it, it's like, the heart of this game, again, is card drafting, right?
Yep.
Like at the start of each round, that's going to determine what you do. Are you going to do these quests? Are you going to go into combat? Are you going to build up your forces with clan upgrades and other upgrades? I mean, I just love Blood Rage to begin with. That was probably like the game, like after Ticket to Ride and Pandemic, Blood Rage was then the game that said, hey, there's this whole other category of like a little heavier stuff that you might want to look
Right.
into. And yeah, I love
Yeah.
Blood Rage. So there's my number one, Blood Rage card
Love.
drafting game.
Yeah, it's so good. It's just one of those games that like you can play and it has that cool toy factor. So you look at it and you just see this
Yeah,
beautiful minis and you're just
yeah,
like, I want to play with this. And that's Simon. Simon does that. They just make
definitely.
you want to play with it.
Yes.
And Eric Lang, of course, amazing designer.
Yeah,
So it's just one of those ones where it's like it's a beautiful combination that
agreed.
works great. And with that card drafting, oh my God, card drafting, because your strategies change completely when the cards are
Oh,
different
totally,
for you,
totally.
you know?
And that's
So
this is actually the game that introduced me to hate drafting because I finally, after I got
now
crushed
what
the
yeah,
first
you have
couple
to
of
do
times,
that.
yeah, I was like, oh, I should be holding certain cards from certain
Right,
people, right?
right.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
so
that's so
good. I,
cool.
I I love it. Yes. So that's my number one,
Ah.
folks. Blood Rage, my favorite card drafting game. Let's go on to our guest Theo here. Theo, what is your number one card drafting game?
Okay, well, I say card drafting game, but literally this is probably one of my top 5 games of all time, and that one is Concordia. I
Nice.
love Concordia. I love that it's all about card play. Like literally, if you see me on Geeky Gamer Guy or on any social medias that I do anything, I love card play. Card play is one of my favorite
Yeah.
things. I love multi-use cards. Multi-use cards just makes my brain so happy. Just like liking to figure out like when to use it. And Concordia, basically, you're trying to use. Everybody has the same hand of cards, and you have a hand of cards, and you're trying to maximize your cards to be able to move little people called settlers. They're either boats or they're human characters that walk around. To be able to settle cities that are going to hopefully score you points, because at the bottom of each card is an end game scoring. So you want to try and balance getting more cards because we're talking about drafting. So there's a drafting row, and that's how you get more cards to hopefully give you more end game scoring of what you're going for. So like let's say you're getting more of those cities. Well, then you might want to get more of those cards. They're going to give you stuff for cities. So
Yep.
you want to keep getting that. Or you have the other cool that my biggest thing that I love is that I have Concordia Venus,
Okay.
and oh, it's so much better. And everybody just thinks it is team play, but it is not. It is not just team play. They add a card that's called the Magister, which in original Concordia you have the Diplomat, which lets you copy the
Yep.
action of somebody else's face-up card. Well, the Magister allows you to copy your face-up card again. So it like
Oh.
adds this beautiful wrinkle of you trying to combine your cards together to like, okay, how am I going to maximize this card so I can do it again and hopefully get to do some more things. And
Nice.
yeah, it's so brilliant. It's one of
Yeah.
those games that just I will like I talked about with Ticket to Ride. There are so many different maps for Concordia, and
Yep.
I love every map for Concordia. They're just so good, just so good.
Nice.
Yeah.
And as far no, I haven't played Venus yet, but would that be like of the other maps, the expansions? Which one would you recommend for people who have played Concordia before?
Ooh, I mean the newest one, oh, I can't even think off the top of my head. It has the fish market. There's a new
Oh,
Concordia Venus expansion that adds this,
oh,
yeah, that adds
okay,
this new map that replaces the prefect action that usually when you do the prefect action you flip it over and you get coins.
right.
Now they have a fish market where you flip it over and you get fish. And
Oh,
you use the fish on this little mini board that's next to the Concordia to be able to take specific actions. So be able to like build in another city or get more resources or something like that. It adds a whole new level of complexity to the game. And
oh, okay.
what's so cool about the fish market is that the fish market isn't just tied to that board. You can use it, with any map that you have. So it's just like that's I think what I love the most about Concordia is that you can play the game you want. Like
Right,
you like this map? Okay, play it on this map. And you can still do the fish market and you can still do stuff because they're cool with that.
right. Nice. We have
Yeah.
Darwin Bernard says, is it Balearica is the map that
Oh,
comes with it?
Balearica, yes, so
Okay,
good.
cool. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Daryl.
Thank you for
Yes.
letting me know.
Yes, thank you. All right. Yeah,
Yeah,
Concordia. I have not played any of the expansions. I'm definitely missing out because I love the
so
base
good.
game, but yeah, I need to play with the expansions.
Salt. I would say
Salt. Okay.
salsa is like if we're gonna go from the Concordia base game, which I played a lot of,
Uh-huh.
salt from salsa, where they give you a wild resource.
Right.
So good. It's so
Nice.
good, and so many ways of being like, how am I going to maximize this wild resource? Because you don't want to waste it on food, but sometimes you need food, so you got to use the salt resource for food. But
That's right.
yeah, it's really
Cool.
cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look at the comments real quick before we get going here. Takanoko. Oh, that's not okay. Ruel is Blood Rage personified. Thank you, Alex. He's one of my buddies out here.
That's amazing.
um, we have some people who haven't played Concordia, but there are people that have. Gerald Bonar notes that Theo likes games with those map expansions, TTR, Concordia, and he is the same way.
Truth. It's so the truth. Like y'all, when it comes to expansions, they got me. Like you say, you got an expansion and it's a map. Oh, okay, I'll get it.
You're all about it. Nice.
I'm here for it.
Games of Fire says Isle of Cats is my number one. When
So
card draft
good.
during the game, you can keep cards from opponents without being stuck with it. After drafting, you choose to play for only the ones you want to keep. So yeah, agreed. I totally forgot about Isle of Cats. Yeah, that's a great game.
I was gonna put it on there. I was gonna put it on there, but I thought that I felt like I want to talk about classics. Like
Classics,
I want
yes.
to talk about something that I'm gonna play
Yeah.
a lot of, or I've played
Right.
a lot of. So yeah, Isle of Cats totally should make the list. It's great.
Definitely. And have you played the Isle of Cats remote edition? It's basically like a roll and write. Oh,
What?
Theo, it's so good. I was
So
totally
good?
surprised. Totally surprised. It's
Whoa.
like you do 7 rounds. It's a roll and write basically, and it's 20 minutes or so.
What?
Yeah,
Okay,
and
that
it feels
sounds great.
Yeah, look it up. I mean, it's on BGG now. You can totally
Okay.
download a sheet and
I'm down. I'm just letting you know I'm down for a game. Like,
Okay,
let's
cool.
go.
We're
Like,
gonna
I'm
set
here
something
for
up.
it.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll set something up.
Yay! Let's
Love
do
it. Love it. Yes. Okay, friends, we're out of time, but I want to thank again Theo for joining us. Theo, I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to spend with us here on Top 3 at 3. Can you talk about some of the projects that you're working on now or anything coming up? I haven't even mentioned Variable Player Podcast.
Oh yeah. So I'm also on a podcast with Danny and Ella. They're also content creators. Called Variable Player Power. Basically, it's the slice of life where we talk about stuff like there are board games, but we talk mostly. We try to infuse more life into our podcast and want it to be more like people can come to a safe space, and that's what we want from there. As far as Geeky Gamer Guy goes, I'm going to be doing a lot of previews over the next month, just because there's just so many cool things that are coming out, and luckily I've gotten the wonderful opportunity to be able to present those games to people that I think that they should check it out and see if they like it. But as far as everything else, yeah, it's just up and up, y'all. I'm always going to be on Instagram. Everything is at Geeky Gamer Guy. Then that's Gaymer. A lot of people love to think that it was Gamer Guy, and they always love making fun of that. They're like, "Oh, you're a merman." And it's like, no. Gamer.
The merman. I didn't even think
merman.
that's so funny.
Oh yeah, they did that for a year, Ruel. I'm not even kidding you. Somebody kept sending me merman pictures just to be like, "You're the merman. You're the merman," and I'm like, "No, I'm a gamer. I'm a gamer."
Well, I'm glad that didn't take hold. I think
yeah. There'll be a video, I'm sure, at some point.
So thank you again, Theo. Really appreciate it. I want to just say that you are a very welcoming and inclusive person, in not only your videos but in real life. Like when I first met you, you're the one. I always always remember this. You taught me Voyages of Marco Polo, and for that alone, I am forever in your debt, my friend, because that game is fantastic. I ended up picking up my own copy, and I look forward to the day that we can game again together.
Absolutely.
One of these days.
And just a quick side note, that Voyages of Marco Polo is on BGA now.
Yes.
It's on Board Game Arena.
So
if y'all haven't checked that out, that's a great game. I'm just letting you know.
Do you play BGA a lot, Theo?
Yeah. Okay. That seems to be most of my thing.
Okay, I'm gonna have to find you and we have to play.
Yes, please.
Okay, awesome. Friends, thank you again for joining us. This has been a fun stream. Amanda, thank you for chatting. I want to thank everyone for hanging out with us today on chat. That is Theo, Geeky Gamer Guy. I'll be back at 7:30 here on Twitch with Michelle. We're going to play a great game. I haven't decided which one we're going to play yet, but yes, much love to everyone out there. And until next time, we'll see you later. Take care, everybody. Bye now.
Bye.